Hello and welcome to the MindCep Podcast. This is your host, Alex Muir, helping you flex your mind, body, and soul. And welcome to the solo podcast series, MindCep Matters. Disclaimer. All information provided by Alex Muir is of general nature and is spoken from Alex Muir's and his guests' personal experiences and personal opinions on the topics related to fitness, health, and education only. No information is to be taken as medical or other health advice pertaining to any specific health or medical condition. You agree that use of this information is at your own risk and hold Alex Muir harmless from any and all losses, liabilities, injuries, or damages resulting from any and all claims. And this episode is brought to you by RadioGuestList.com, the #1 free radio guest, podcast, and talk show guest expert interview booking service on the internet. This episode is brought to you by PodcastGuest.com, connecting podcasters with great guests. Podcasters. Find relevant experts and other podcasters to be guests on your podcast. Experts, guests, and more. Get booked on great podcasts to expand your reach and audience. PodcastGuest.com connects podcasters with experts, authors, and other podcasters to be guests on their podcasts. Hello, and welcome to the MindCep Podcast. This is your host, Alex Muir, helping you flex your mind, body, and soul. And today's episode 66, we're going to be talking about betting big on yourself. Now, I want to start off this episode by talking about a quote by Warren Buffett. The most important investment you can make is in yourself. Now, I know a lot of people, with everything that's gone on over the last few years, amidst the pandemic, you might have questioned yourself. You might have been questioning a lot of things in your life. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world. The world's unpredictable. There's much more challenges than ever before. Being able to adapt to uncertain times, we have to have ironclad belief in ourselves and our abilities. And this is why I felt it important to do this episode, because a lot of people's might be questioning their abilities or their confidence, their self-esteem. And most of us always have to find ways to adapt to uncertain times, but also when when there's a lot going on, sometimes our mood or our attitude needs a shift, needs a switch, or sometimes we need to do a 180. So that's why I really wanted to title this episode Betting Big on Yourself, or Bet Big on Yourself, when it comes to your dreams, your aspirations, your hopes, things you want to do, things you want to accomplish. You have to go all in on yourself, individually. No one else may be there to support you, but always look for people, loved ones, your good friends, mentors, that's support your hopes and dreams and aspirations. But at the end of the day, we have to bet big on ourselves. We have to go all in on and learning, go all in on ourselves, but learning to figure out where we are strong, what our strong suits are. And one thing that for myself that I've seen as a pattern for what I've been able to accomplish more in a shorter period of time is creating and cultivating great connections. Now, by creating and cultivating great connections, which this will be a little catalyst for our future episode, is having connections to me is like having a secondary bank account. When you have great connections, you're future-proofing your ability to create a larger stream of income, or multiple streams of income, because of the connections or the people that you surround yourself with. When you have good, solid connections, It helps build belief, helps build your self-belief, helps build more self-esteem, and it helps you level up. Helps you level up and build bigger and better dreams and aspirations for yourself. When you're challenged, or you're aligned with people that are aspiring to do great things, it makes you want to do more great things. So that's why I want to mention how important it is to bet big on yourself, even when others are against you, or others don't understand, what it is you're trying to accomplish. They don't need to understand. It's okay to be uncommon amongst the uncommon, or unknown amongst the known, when as long as you have a very clear path and a clear vision, clear goal of what you want to do, eventually you put in the work, you're continually working towards what it is that you want, what you want to manifest, and you have a clear vision in mind, the path will pave itself. So I want to say that again, the path will pave itself to help you with, doing whatever it is that you want to do. And I'm just writing this down in my notes as well for this episode. Anytime, there's additional inspiration or quotes or anything that I come across, I'll be incorporating that and integrating that into these episodes. So the path will pave itself. We want to align ourselves with good people, great individuals that are either already in a position that we want to be in, or they think in a mindset similar to ours, which will again give us more confidence individually, build more self-belief in ourselves, and want to make us more confident or competitive, like with where it is that we want to go. So yeah, I want to start off by saying that. And next case in point I want to discuss was a quote that Arnold Swartznegger said in one of his speeches when he was it was either for his Arnold Classic contest like a number of years ago, or when he was just speaking to up-and-coming bodybuilders in the Mr. Olympia. And one quote that stuck with me was, he's like, don't be afraid to break the rules. He's like, when you're not working hard, someone's working really hard, and they're getting up earlier, they're training harder, they're doing more, all those things, it makes you think, it makes you want to level up when you're sleeping, someone else is working. So he's like, when you're Arnold Schwarzenegger said, when you horse around, you're playing or being playful. It's fun to have fun and horse around, but when you want to get down to business and work towards your goals, you gotta put in the work, you gotta put in the time. So that's another quote by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Don't be afraid to break the rules, and always remember that someone out there is working harder than you. So Garrett, again, little inspiration to have a catalyst or something to aim for, or something to reach for. And I also wanted to say that anytime you're feeling unsure about something, or you're not sure kind of what direction you want to go in, it'll always come back to following your heart, following your intuition, and your vision. Because as long as you follow your heart, your vision, and you're putting in the work, you will eventually manifest what it is that you're looking for. It takes vision, it takes grit, perseverance, and with all those things combined, and continually investing in yourself, your personal development, your education, whatever line of work that you're in, business, career, all those things will help you pave that path to a clear vision, and to make that vision a reality down the road. So again, this is a short little episode of MindCep Matters, betting big on yourself. And again, the quote of the episode, the most important investment you can make is in yourself, by Warren Buffett. And alternative quote by Arnold Swartznegger, don't be afraid to break the rules. And then David Goggins, I was just listening to his podcast or his on his Instagram reels, and that's where he was talking about, he was like, don't be afraid to, I could be misquoting this, but he's like, don't be afraid to be an uncommon or unknown amongst the unknowns. People don't have to understand your path. They don't have to understand like what it is that you're trying to do. But as long as you understand where you want to go, and as long as you have your vision, you keep working towards it every day, daily, and eventually your vision and will manifest itself, and the path will pave itself. So, hope you guys all enjoy this short episode of MindCep Matters. This is episode 66. Bet big on yourself. Stay tuned for next week's episode. So this will be next week's episode, February 27th. And then again, I was supposed to have 2 interviews. One got rescheduled to end of March. That's going to be with a guest coming up, ex-Navy SEAL. And then a repeat guest that I was supposed to have today, Saturday, but that will get most likely rescheduled as well because I wasn't able to connect with that guest. So I think we're just having technical difficulties there. But hope you guys will enjoy this episode, and stay tuned for next week's episode. And next week's episode will be I will give you guys a little sneak peek for next week there. So hope you guys all enjoyed listening, and stay tuned for next week's episode. Take care. Here is a sneak peek into Monday, March 6th, MindCep Matters episode on adjusting and adapting amongst uncertainty. Thank you all for listening to the MindCep solo podcast series, MindCep Matters, bringing you weekly inspiration, motivation, and insight into brain and body optimization hacks. Thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed this episode or this podcast solo series, please don't hesitate to leave a comment, drop a like, rate, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. Or if you prefer, you can listen on my blog. That's alexandermuir.com/blog. That's alexander.com/blog. Thank you all for listening, and stay tuned for next week's episode.